That is the central canal right there. That little tiny hole is the central canal, which is the cerebral spinal fluid is going to be produced in the brain, the choroid plexus of the brain. And what your body does, you have the ependymal cells. Remember those neuroglial cells, the ependymal cells? By the way, you need to know all the neuroglial cells for this test, right? So the ependymal cells produce the CSF. They're found in the choroid plexus, which I'm going to teach you about in the brain, and they're going to take the venous blood of the brain and convert it into CSF. And we actually make new CSF every 4 to 6 hours.
Wow.
So then you have these meninges. The meninges have a tough mother on the outside, which is called the dura mater. The arachnoid, which would be the middle layer, and then the pia is right on the actual spinal cord itself, right? So that's the pia mater. Here you see, this is dorsal, right? Because that's the dorsal spine.
Posterior spine.
And these are the dorsal rootlets, which would form a dorsal root ganglia. They're forming the dorsal root and the dorsal root ganglia. Here's the ventral rootlets, which are going to form the ventral root. Okay, then they're going to exit out and form a spinal nerve. The spinal nerve is going to branch off into a posterior ramus or a dorsal ramus and a ventral ramus. It's still mixed. It has both sensory and motor. The dorsal ramus will supply the muscles of the back. The ventral ramus, generally speaking, supplies the muscles in the skin of the front. Muscles and skin, right? And then the ventral ramus could also form the plexi, the cervical plexus, brachial plexus, lumbar plexus, sacral plexus. This coming off here is called the gray rami communicantes, and this is going to go to the organs. It's going to go to a ganglia. In this case, this is a cervical spine, you could tell. How do you know it's cervical spine? See the bifid spinous process?
Yeah.
That tells us only in the cervical spine you have that. So this is probably going to be going to a sympathetic chain ganglia. Okay? That would be the vertebral body, superior articulating facet. So you have nice, what is this coming up through? Remember on the cervical spine?
Transverse process.
The transverse foramen, and then you have the transverse foramen has the vertebral artery and veins coming up and going into the brain, remember? It's that right there. Isn't that cool?
That is so nice. Because you're sick,